Chris says, I think Mullins' downfall was the fact that the entire team was hurt. Mullins and Jimmy aren't too far off skill set wise. Biggest difference was the health of the entire team. Yeah, I think the idea with Mullins is like, here you have someone who's like 85% of Jimmy for like a fraction of the cost. If he could just prove himself, you could go with him. And now it's much better to have Trey Lance than Nick Mullens, but that was always the idea. And I think, yeah, like it was never, Nick Mullens was never the kind of guy who's going to elevate people around him, but neither is Jimmy.
And all right, so as far as being off skill set wise, I still think that Jimmy Garoppolo has really good mechanics with generating power in his lower half. I really think that he has all those good things and the quick trigger at times. Sometimes he'll sit there and like he'll do that sometimes, which annoys the hell out of me. Yeah. But with Nick Mullens, man, I don't know if it was all necessarily the injuries to the team, because I'll point you right to that Eagles game. And first play of the game, Kyle Shanahan says, we gotta get you ready. We gotta get you going. Kendrick Bourne runs a slant. Nick misses him. Okay, cool. Kyle goes, okay, now let me get him an even easier throw. He calls the leak, the F leak with Juszczyk, misses him. And that kind of told you what was going to happen in that game. That game was all there for the taking. Didn't have much to do with injuries. The 49ers defense actually played really well in that game. I think George Kittle had like 13 catches and a touch. So Nick Mullens, I don't want to put it all on injuries, but Nick Mullens didn't play well. He just
what I find so interesting about that game is that it was definitely the game that the Niners like fell out of love with Nick Mullens. That was it. That was the end of Nick with the Niners. But where did Nick Mullens end up? Philly. So Philly played him in that game, and they actually appreciated it. It's like, you know what? You battled. You kept your team in the game. You were really bad at first, but you battled, and we liked it. And we could have lost to you that day. Like, really, Carson Wentz had to make that all-time throw to Travis Fulgham down the line to win the game, and he did, and it was great. But they were impressed. I think it's interesting how two teams can see the same thing so differently. Like the Niners needed Nick Mullens to be clutch in that game, and that's not what he is. But the Eagles were looking at him different. Like they looking at him more like, well, that's a backup quarterback going toe-to-toe with Carson Wentz. It was very interesting to me that he ended up on that team.
And Nick Mullens throws that pick six to the underneath linebacker and no one's there. I mean, you take that one throw out. You take that one throw out in the 49ers. I hate to do that because then, the game changes and everything. But, yeah, man.
You wouldn't think that the Eagles would sign him. You think that'd be the last team, but that's interesting. Jeremy Smith says Grant Cohn in the house. Just got finished watching the tape on Lance, and I think it's clear why we haven't heard from Jimmy. This kid is scary. Yeah, that's probably a good way to look at it. I like
all the stuff that he said about Lance, too, when they asked him about, understanding the coverages and the pre-snap stuff and all that. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's like pouring rain over here in New York. But
oh, damn.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm inside. But I thought it was really cool that he talked about all those things, because that's stuff that we had speculated that he liked about him. And, we're just guys on the sideline. So it's good that we kind of saw the same things. And Kyle really talked about that pretty well.
Definitely. Justin says, I've read about multiple rookies, but not much about Alfredo Gutierrez. Will he make the team? If so, in what aspect will he be used? That's a good question. He's getting a lot of questions. I haven't seen him in a one-on-one pass blocking drill yet. So I'm open-minded. Let's see what he does.
I am too. And I can't speculate, but I think that he's a little bit too tall for where he plays. I think he's a guard, right?
I thought he was an offensive tackle. I know he's 6'9". He better be a tackle.
Yeah, I was gonna say he can't be a guard at that height. But it's hard to speculate, man, because he has that huge size and maybe that'll work. But what we know about this team is the tackles need to be athletic. You need to be able to get out there and run block and everything. So who knows if you can do that? I'll say right now, I don't think he makes the team. It's a really nice story. I love that he's Mexican, and it's nice to see Hispanics on the team, and that's cool. But I just don't think that there's a place for him, especially when you consider Jalen Moore, Aaron Banks. Maybe because School got injured, that opens the door, because School's still on the roster, but he's on IR. Nope. So yeah, I don't think so.
No, if he makes the team, he'll be practice squad. This guy is a developmental guy. If he's anything, I would expect practice squad if anything. So
okay,
you can get to know him.